What's up, guys? Michael Bancroft here. No question this time. This time it's more of a confession. I was wrong. What am I talking about? Well, looking back over the last 2 years of my channel, we've done a lot of talk about crowdfunding strategy, trying to discover and uncover the secrets to success. What is really unpicking the CG method, developing an IP, getting a team, building your audience, jumping on streams, promoting it on Twitter, sharing it out there into the world, then finally launching on crowdfunding and everything and beyond. And we've really dissected that. We've really tried to hone in on what works and what doesn't, what's best practice. And after doing this for 2 years, it actually has been 2 years to this day.
All right, we are live.
I've really learned a thing or two. And, I've always said promotion is everything. I think I've even said promotion accounts for 90% of the success of your book. We say you could have the best book in the world, but if no one sees it, it won't be a success. I've called a guy like David Feed the anti-promoter. Tongue-in-cheek, David, with his book Red Eyes, which I think is a fantastic looking book. I think it ticks so many of the boxes, but David hasn't been the best in building his audience. So his book, in my opinion, is languishing a little bit, despite how glorious it looks. Conversely, you've got other projects which we didn't know much about, other than we really liked the person creating it, and they had a huge success. You can think of, say, Cash Grab. Another book to counter that might be Prospectors, which, people don't know about it. That's the thing. Amazing artwork, out of this world. People like the creator, but just not enough people knew about it, I think. And it didn't even end up funding. So that's sort of where I've been coming from, not realizing that these are actually more extreme examples. And these extremes, they do end up obscuring the statistical average. And that's where I think I've been wrong. And I've been thinking long and hard on this. And I think what's brought me round is the fact that I'm seeing a lot of books really go far with creators who have pretty modest audiences. So you get a really great book with some good promotion, even though they have a small audience, they can get some really great results. And conversely, I've seen a lot of people do the CG thing, really hitting the streams, getting themselves out there, doing loads of promotion. And the book is so-so, and the end result is poor. They don't see the big numbers that the other guys are seeing. So that's why I think I'm going to start saying now the biggest factor to success is actually the marriage between the art and the IP, a really hot IP. Especially amplified in Comicsgate, where so many other people will help you with the promotion. There's a real snowballing effect when the IP lands real hard. It just builds and builds, reaching an audience way bigger than what the creator originally kind of has in their arsenal. So sure, great art sells books, we know that. Put that together with a great IP, it's practically unstoppable. And you can see this when we look at certain examples of where the art is exceptional in both instances. Take a look at, say, Starlight Cats and Inglorious Rex. Starlight Cats was a big hit, but the IP was not as appealing as Inglorious Rex, I don't think, to the audience. It was appealing to a lot of people, but Inglorious Rex really struck a nerve. And it became a monstrously huge hit, even though you could argue that the art quality on both is fairly comparable. Another one might be Downcast and Fatal. Clint, I don't think, gained any massive new audience that he had when he started Downcast as when he launched Fatal. But Fatal, for whatever reason, really just hit the spot. And, that's why it's his first $100,000 campaign. Another example that you can look at that's slightly different is Matthew Fowler with Dixie Rose and Tiger Blue. Now, Dixie Rose, in my opinion, is a fantastic looking book. A really professional level. There's no indication at all that it's not a mainstream publication. It's really top-notch art, but it didn't do as well for Matthew as Tiger Blue has. And Tiger Blue has just really resonated. Again, it's a different art style, but they're both, I think, artistically, they're both really A+ level. But for whatever reason, Tiger Blue is the one that became the big success, sort of like the breakout success for Fowler there. Now, if you've gotten this far in the video and you're thinking, well, why are you even making a video about this? This is so obvious. It may be obvious to you. It hasn't been perfectly obvious to me. It's taken me a long while. I know hindsight is 20/20, but it's taken me a while to sort of get to this point where I really recognize that the IP itself is one of the biggest determining factors in the success of a campaign. And I think that has to be said out loud. Us creators, we can have blind spots when it comes to our creations. I've noticed that in myself. I'm happy to admit now, yes, I've been wrong. I've been too analytical. I haven't been giving enough attention to that X factor, and that goes for my own IP. I guess I've had this sort of weird, misplaced sense of humility with regards to the success that was the Lucent. People have come to me countless times now in DMs on Twitter and even face to face, and they've said to me, "Hey, I backed your book because of what I saw, what I liked. There was something about it that spoke to me." And I always just sort of, I don't know, I guess I didn't know how to really take that. I always kind of just believed, well, I was promoting it really hard and my channel started taking off after I'd launched. So I, sort of put it down to that. But you've also got to factor in that, maybe one of the reasons why my channel did start getting more traction was because of that appeal of the Lucent. I've noticed that a lot in other people as well, where, they start becoming really popular once they get an IP that is popular. I know it sounds like, hey, how come this is taking you so long to figure this out? But it just has. I don't know why. I'm thinking Mandy Summers. I'm thinking Eric Weathers. Lots of people. They didn't really start getting that much traction until they got a book behind them that really resonated with the crowd. Another one, look at the success of campaigns like Terror in the Trenches or Reaper Destroyer. Yes, the art is incredible. It's the art plus IP and the feedback loop, that snowball effect that I mentioned. That's that in full effect. And these guys are not guys with enormous audiences. So obviously on the flip side of that, it's really a hard pill to swallow for people to realize that, maybe my IP just isn't as popular as I'd hoped. And that's why, unfortunately, this is just the way of things. This is the way of any sort of creative enterprise. And, a lot of those guys will say, well, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And they are. They're working real hard, but they're just not hitting it the way they wanted to. And, there's no solution to an unpopular IP. There's nothing you can tell someone. Something will land or it won't. And if, I don't have any advice on that. If I did, I would bottle it and make millions of dollars off it. But I don't, and no one does. But what I do know is this. I've known guys in CG who have been ready to throw in the towel because they're trying, they're promoting, they're getting on the streams, they're doing their books, and they just never seem to get off the ground. I've seen those guys then go on to, make something new that really did hit. And now they're the happiest that I've seen them. They're out there making money. It's a real sea change. So you never know. That breakout hit of yours could be right around the corner. That's all I can say. But look, I just want to say I was wrong. Promotion is incredibly important. Yes. But I think if you really want to make it in what we're doing here and in CG, you've got to invest time and effort into creating the most appealing, exciting, and engaging property that you possibly can. And then on top of that, hire the best artists, colorists, and everything to help bring it to life. That's all I wanted to say. If you have, as always, if you have a question for me that you'd like me to answer, please leave it in the comments below. Other than that, like the video, subscribe, get that notification on, and I will see you next time. All right, guys. Bye.